Yeah, the Uthgard accused murder trial. Let's get that out of the way. We did get some kind of book that explains the details. Journal of Saint Laneral. This is from previous chapter. Heart's Journal, not useful. Nature of Water Summoning, not useful. Crowley's Journal. I don't care. We just need to get the words of power, not the journals anymore. Arwol's Journal, not useful. Defense Council Journal, that's useful. Diary Page. Mountain Witch. Letter to War Bardock, that's chapter 2. Bounty Hunter's Writ, probably should keep it. Small Diary. Herbet's Diary. Okay. Defense Council Journal. Okay, it's not that long. This notebook identifies the bearer as an official representative of terrorist justice in Rolgan's murder trial and explains the rules of the court, including the right for defense counsel to question any of the participants involved before the trial begins. To aid you in your task, Nurix has included notes on the witnesses and jurors and where you might be able to locate them for questioning. Witnesses: Rolgan, Zed, Lodar, and Vanda. So only 4. It's good. Rolgan is the accused, Vanda is his wife, Zed and Lodar are 2 Lord Alliance soldiers. Jurors: Edgar, my assistant, a good and honest man. He's usually to be found helping out in the temple. Okay, these jurors wouldn't be mentioned unless we can somehow influence them or learn more about them. Edgar, Averick, Jevon, Dalcia, Pala. Uthgard, Tyr, and 2 Lost Alliance soldiers that are in the drinking house and in the barracks. Okay, I think I have a solid grasp of things.
Well met.
Edgar, I'm here about the Erwolgan's trial. Of course. Henrik has done me a great honor by selecting me for the jury in this case. I am looking forward to performing my duties in the administration of terrorist justice. Okay, we would bribe him. Yeah, I don't think he's susceptible to bribes. How do you feel about this case? Even though I disapprove of the Uthgar's worship of a pagan god, I'm not going to prejudge him. The real culprit in this crime is the demon alcohol. Of course, the alcohol does not excuse the Uthgar's behavior. Anyone who lets themselves get drunk must bear the consequences of his actions. This is why I so strongly disapprove of consuming alcoholic beverages. But I'm keeping an open mind. I wish you well in this case, my lord. May the justice of Tyr be served. Okay, now I see the point of this.
It cannot be done.
We're going to be given, I think, several avenues to sort of explain what happened. But it comes as a cost. Edgar is very anti-alcohol use, so intoxication cannot be our excuse for anything, or Edgar will probably turn against us.
You are here because Neurix sent you? You are here because of the trial?
Yes, I'm to defend you. Tell me what happened. Griff invited me to play a game of chance. Not wanting to spurn his gesture of friendship, I accepted his invitation and the drinks he readily offered me. I began to feel strange. My mind was clouded by more than just ale. I gambled foolishly and lost several personal heirlooms of great religious significance to my tribe. I returned to my tribe in shame. Vanda, my wife, told me to go back and speak to Griff, to humble myself and beg him to return our religious heirlooms in exchange for the promise of much gold later on. Sounds like a good deal. A religious heirloom probably is basically worthless. But Griff attacked me before I could speak my offer. I killed him to save my own life. There was no other choice. I fled to this temple, barely escaping a mob of soldiers seeking my blood to avenge Griff. Yurik gave me sanctuary, but only if I vowed to submit to a trial to determine my fate. Can you tell me anything else? We Uthgard are different than you. Our ways and customs may seem strange. They call us savages and pagans and drunks and thieves. This is how the Lord's Alliance sees us, and that is why I am called a murderer for defending myself. We of the Black Lion tribe are a noble people. I'm no heathen savage, no vile killer. I pray to Uthgard that you can see this and help me. I'll do my best. That doesn't explain what happened. Okay, I think one of the witnesses is in the enclave. Zed. Yeah, Jibin is a
Well met.
doer. Nurik sent me. I represent Rolgan. I figured as much. I ain't never been on a jury before. I've seen my share of trials, but usually from the prisoner's box. What do you want to know? I'm preparing my case. What do you think about this trial? It looks to me like a bar fight gone out of hand. A few too many drinks in you and you act stupid. I've been there myself, though I ain't never killed no one. But you know what makes me mad about this case? Them people who run around saying the only reason this guy's on trial is because he's Uthgard. I ain't no Uthgard, and I've been on trial a bunch of times. Sounds like you're trying to keep an open mind. I know what it's like. Sometimes you're just in the wrong place at the wrong time. Could be that's what happened to this Uthgard. I kind of hope you get him off. I'd hate to have to sentence the poor guy to execution, but I've got to give an honest verdict. Nurik says it's my duty. Not much more I can tell you. I hope you got what you were looking for. Yeah, I think he'll react negatively if we try to play the race card, so to speak. So try to play too hard on the fact that the only reason he's being accused is because he's race. People are racist. It'll just make, well, just like in real life, it'll just make people stop listening to you if you play that card constantly. Especially if there are other good reasons to be holding, thinking a thing. It's reasonable to have him on trial in this case, no matter who he is. It doesn't mean it might not play some kind of significance in the case. It's just we need to be very careful where we mention that, otherwise we might be in trouble.
I greet you.
This better be important, as I don't feel like chatting. It's bad enough my leg is killing me, but now I've got to be a witness at a murder trial too? I am the defense counsel for Rogan. So you're the sucker Nurik roped into defending that savage? Tough break. I hear the case is open and shut. I saw that Uthgard stab Griff with my own 2 eyes. Got him right through. Griff was dead before he even hit the ground. Do you know why they were fighting? Gambling debt? Griffin had won a bunch of money off the Uthgard, and I guess the savage didn't like it. He'd been drinking, so I guess it's no surprise he lost his temper. I get the feeling you're holding back on me. Hey, all I know is what I saw. Griff is dead and that Uthgard killed him. I'm as sure of that as I am of this pain eating away at my leg. What's wrong with your leg? My leg is none of your business. Go find someone else to bother. Leave me alone.
I greet you.
Hey, thanks for curing that wound in my leg. I still got the occasional ache from my arthritis, but I can handle that. What happened that night with Griff? First, Griff spiked that Uthgard's drink. Griff was always doing stuff like that to try to get an edge at cards. Would be the stuff in the drink made that Uthgard act like he did. I also happen to know for a fact that Griff was cheating that night. He wanted to take everything that Uthgard owned. He told me he wanted to rob that savage blind. That's all I know. If it's enough to get your client off, so be it. At least now I can walk without clenching my teeth in agony. Seems like a fair trade to me. Okay, that helps us quite a bit. But that also sort of doesn't. Because now, if he knew about that cheating and the spike drink, he has a very strong motive to murder the man. So in a way it makes things worse.
I greet you.
Shove off, buddy. These open sores on my face make it tough enough to attract the ladies without your ugly muck hanging around and cramping my style. I'm here to talk about Rolgan's trial. Oh, the prissy priest Nurik must have sent you. I can't figure out why that sort of runt wanted me on the jury. Guess he figured I'd be impartial since I hate all races, colors and creeds equally. What are your feelings about the case? Griff was a rotten bastard, and the Uthgard did us all a favor by offing him. But if we let him go, we might have drunken savages running through the streets sacrificing us to their goat gods, you know. Sounds like you figure he's already guilty. The only good thing about that Uthgard is his wife. Can't wait to see her up testifying at the trial. She's one fine piece of meat. I wouldn't mind having her pork chops on my plate at dinner tonight. In some ways, I like this. I wish sort of similar things, well, maybe not quite this blatant, would be sort of mixed in with some companions in these games. Although often their interactions are sort of too smooth. It's like I'm not necessarily agreeing with the main protagonist, but there's nothing really there. Something kind of a disgusting habit or a opinion or some kind of a thing that drops you the wrong way, even for a otherwise nice guy or a pleasant woman that you might have romantic feelings towards, or rather your character. But something to rub you the wrong way, even to they're, I guess, too clean. That's what their relationship usually are, or the characters. They're like designed for a large audience, so there's very little to rub the wrong way. There's some design thing naturally because you have a character, you have to have something there, but there's no imperfections in that design. Something that would make you blatantly just think the guy or girl is a gigantic asshole. Even though he might be on your side and in general be your ally. But something that really makes you hate his guts, or just think he's disgusting, or something, some little thing that annoys you. We could try to bribe Averick. Considering how Averick thinks about things, that might work. At the same time, I don't know what's really involved in a trial, so we might get caught, and that would be a catastrophe, a total, absolute catastrophe, so I'll be going now. Shady character, that's a thief.
Hello there.
No. Lodar would be another witness. Look, don't bother me right now. I got a lot on my mind, what with this trial and all. I am defending Volgan. Funny, you don't look like a lawyer. But that ain't my business, I guess. You want to ask me some questions? Go ahead. Tell me what happened. Griff and that Uthgard were playing cards, gambling. Griff won a lot of money. So much that the Uthgard had to give him some of his jewelry to cover the debt. Real fancy looking stuff. Later that night, Griff went outside. I heard him shout, and I rushed out to see him and that Uthgard smashing sword. Guess the Uthgard was better at it than Griff. I can't believe I have to testify about this. I've never been to a trial before. So you never saw who started the fight? No, there was already fighting when I got there. I never thought it would end up with Griff dead and me having to go to that Uthgard's trial. Anything else? That's all I know. I don't even understand why they need me at the trial. I wish I didn't have to go. Don't get so worked up about this trial. Barkeep, a drink for my friend Lodar. Please, I'm buying. Hey, you're alright, brother. Good luck in the trial, and thanks for the drink. And if you need anything else, I'll be right here until the trial is over. They've got me off active duty, so I plan on spending my time here in the drinking house.
Well met.
How about a refill? Bartender, bring another drink for Lodar. Thanks, I needed that. Too bad you're trying to get Griff's killer off. I kind of like you. You're a real nice man. Not like Griff. He was always getting into trouble, picking fights, that kind of thing. Kind of a racist too. Always going on about Uthgard being drunks and thieves and such. Maybe Griff's to blame for the fight with that Uthgard. Maybe, but I shouldn't be speaking ill of the dead. We've had some ugly secrets, but now's not the time to drag it all out. What kind of secrets? I really shouldn't tell you. Griff was a friend after all. We're friends, aren't we? Have another drink on me and tell me what you know. Sure, why not? Bartender, another round. Griff's gone now anyway, so who cares if anyone finds out, right? Griff had a nasty habit of spiking the drinks of people he was gambling against. He figured it would give him an edge over them, make them mind all hazy. Not really sporting, but that's the kind of guy Griff was. Anything else you can tell me? Nah, I told you pretty much everything I know already. If you need anything else, I'll be right here. Okay. There's only one more witness left, and we need to talk to the two Uthgard jurors. I think we have a fair case to release the guy, but that doesn't mean we are going to succeed. We need to know what the basically our opposition can play against us. We need to have answers for him.
Greetings to you.
Dalcia. I'm representing Rolgan at his murder trial. Ah yes, Nurik mentioned he was seeking someone to defend Rolgan in this trial. I hope you truly appreciate the situation you have gotten yourself into. The Uthgard are a noble people, but their culture and belief systems seem strange to the Lord's Alliance. Often the Uthgard are victims of prejudice and hatred simply because of who they are. Sounds like you think Rolgan is innocent. I will await until the trial before I make that decision, of course. I only wanted you to be aware of the fact that Rolgan is an Uthgard. Might have something to do with him being on trial. Okay, Dalcia, on the other hand, might react favorably to playing the race card, or at least the discrimination card. I will not try to ask if he's willing to be bribed. Uthgard probably aren't willing. Being proud, wild savages and all that. Okay, this is the why.
Yes, what?
I'm sorry. Are you speaking to me? Forgive my distraction. I'm worried about my husband's upcoming trial.
I'm representing your husband.
Representing husband? I'm sorry, but the ways of your justice system are unfamiliar to we people of the Lion tribe. Are you friend or foe?
A friend?
The priest Nurik said I would have to answer the questions put to me with complete honesty. It was as if he expected me to lie. He knows nothing about the honor of our tribe. Ask away, I have nothing to hide.
Tell me what happened the night Griff was killed.
My husband returned home late. He had been drinking, but there was something else. He seemed different, as if more than alcohol were at work in his mind. When he told me he had gambled away the heirlooms of our family, precious stones sanctified by the priest of Uthgar, I knew something was very wrong. He was not in his right mind, or he would never have waged those sacred stones in a game of chance. I sent him to ask this man Griff to return the heirlooms. We offered to pay him gold in exchange. It would have been far more than he could ever sell the heirlooms for. Their religious significance to the Black Lion tribe far exceeds their material worth. But the soldier attacked my husband, and Rolgan was forced to kill Griff to preserve his own life. He fled to the temple seeking sanctuary. Mob of Griff's enraged friends close on his heels.
Anything else?
Please help my husband. They are portraying him as a drunken pagan savage. That is how they view all of the Uthgard. We are a noble people, but if Rolgan is convicted, the hurtful stereotype will only get stronger. I wish I could be of more help, but all I can do is pray Uthgard grants you wisdom in this matter.
Sometimes bothers me that the writers use the words like stereotype in these dialogues. Would she really know? I'm sure it gets around these days quite a lot, but I'm also sure there are more simpler ways to express the negative viewpoints expressed by the other people without using the word stereotype. And that's a minor thing though. It doesn't particularly bother me. But sometimes these people don't feel like they're talking like they do. It's just text to explain things for me. So it feels, I guess, odd because I'm speaking it aloud. It doesn't really sound like she would speak in that manner. Pala, last you were.
Greetings.
The life of one of my people is in your hands. I will aid you as best I can, though there is little I can do. The ways of justice among the Lord's Alliance are unknown to me.
What do you think of this case?
I am very disappointed in Rolgan. Our tribe constantly struggles against the stereotype of the drunken savage, yet Rolgan allowed himself to fall under the influence of alcohol. This is the result.
It sounds like you already think he's guilty.
That remains to be seen. Rolgan is a symbol of our people. I pray he is not guilty of what they claim. But my duty in this trial is clear. Nurek has explained the vow I have taken as a juror. If the evidence shows Rolgan let alcohol cloud his mind so that he killed the man without reason, I must return a verdict of guilty. This trial is not the way of our tribe, but I must follow Nurek's rules in this matter. We Uthgard cannot risk the wrath of the Lord's Alliance by defying the High Priest of Tyr. I pray Rolgan is not a sacrifice for the good of the entire tribe, but if it must be, it must be. Okay, now we have two people who will probably react very badly if we try to use alcohol as any kind of justification of what happened. Still, we've talked to everyone involved, so might as well get the show on the road. I think I'll use a couple of potions. I'm not sure if my attributes actually make any difference here, but intelligence, charisma, hopefully we'll get it to less than usual. We got it to 0. That's good. We have Owl's wisdom to add to that. We have 0, 0, and positive on the intellect. Let's hope that's enough if they influence things. I've completed my investigations and I'm ready to begin Rolgan's trial. Okay, he's explained the rules. Rules of the proceedings are simple. Jurors will listen to the evidence and testimony, and as the trial progresses, they'll use swords and torches I have given them to indicate either guilt or innocence. A sword for guilt, a torch for innocence. Okay. I understand. 3 jurors or more must be holding a torch to get Rolgan acquitted, and if I end the conversation before we're done, Rolgan suffers.
The Swift Sword. I am the special prosecutor in the investigation of the death of the Lord's Alliance mercenary known as Griff. And I would like to remind the jury that I have never lost a case. Never!
The witnesses have been sworn in, and may the light of Tyr's justice shine down on this trial and expose any lies in their testimony. To begin my case, I would like to question Lodar, an eyewitness to the events.
I'm here, Your Honor.
I'm not the judge, Lodar, just the prosecutor. You don't have to be so formal, just call me sir. Please tell us what happened in your own words.
Well, sir, it was night and Creeper was outside the barracks. All of a sudden we heard this shout and we ran out and Griff and that Uthgard there are going at each other with weapons drawn. Before we could step in, that savage stabs Griff right in the gut and runs off. We ran to get the cleric, but by then it were too late. Griff was gone. That savage killed him.
That is all I require from the witness. Were it up to me, we could end the trial right now and declare Rolgan guilty. But custom dictates I allow the defense to question the witness if they wish.
I'm ready for your questions. Let's try to establish a few facts. Did you see who actually started the fight? No, they were already going at it by the time we got there. So maybe Griff started the fight and Rogan was just defending himself. Yeah, I guess. Could be Griff started it. I don't know, I wasn't there. Okay. Intoxication. Yeah, we don't want to mention that. 2 out of 5 viewers will guarantee a negative reaction to that, so drink spiking on the other hand doesn't matter. That's not just alcohol, that's an intentional influence by the victim to cloud the mind of the accused. So that has to weigh. Isn't it true that Griff spiked Trollgan's drink earlier that evening? Yeah, he wanted to mess that Uthgard up so he could beat him at cards, you know? Make him not think straight. So Griff is partly to blame for his own death. Well, it was his fault the Uthgard was doped up. Maybe if Vulcan was in his right mind, he wouldn't have killed Griff. Hmm. I think it might, yeah, it's relevant that we need to, although we don't want to place the prejudices toward Uthgard card too often, I think it's relevant that we establish that the victim had those prejudices, because it makes him seem more likely to be the initiator of the fight. Can you tell me how Grip felt towards the Uthgard? He didn't like them much. He was always complaining about them as damn savages and filthy Uthgard, always picking fights with them, looking for trouble. So this fight could have been started by Grip. Wouldn't be the first time he let his temper get the better of him. Always was a bit of a hothead, especially when it came to those Uthgard. He hated them something fierce. Okay, we still have the intoxication option. I don't want to use it. I just don't see it going our way. So it's a case of just don't go there. Have no more questions for this witness. Okay, we have 2 torches already. Where's the 5th guy? There. Well, more importantly, there's no swords. That's what we want to avoid. So undecided. I think they will have torches or swords at the end. But yeah, I'm fairly happy with this. There's going to be another witness, 2 others in fact, maybe 3. I have no more questions for this witness.
If defense counsel has finished trying to obscure the truth, I will call Zed, my next witness. Zed, tell the court what you witnessed on that night.
Right, sir. Well, it's like Lodar said. Griff was outside, we heard him shout. We run out and the Uthgard sticks a blade in Griff's belly. Then that savage runs off to the temple for sanctuary like some kind of coward.
Well spoken, Zed. He ran up like a murderous coward. Obviously he's guilty. They always run when they're guilty. This case might be my easiest win yet. Your witness.
I'm ready to answer this man's questions. He basically neutralized our gains. But I don't think that matters. Because he has no swords out. And it's our turn, so we have the advantage. And as long as we can just maintain that advantage, we're at least guaranteed that the guy goes free. You never actually witnessed the start of the fight, did you? No, I didn't see who started the fight. So yeah, it could have been Griff if that's what you're getting at. Again, the alcohol option. Don't want to go there. I guess we will go through the same options. I think it's a fairly strong stance. I'm not sure if we'll get everyone to our side, but I'm pretty sure it'll guarantee that the guy doesn't get hanged. So, Griff had spiked Rogan's drink that night, right, Zed? Yeah, he put something in Rogan's drink, made his mind fuzzy, so he didn't really understand what he was doing. Don't you think that's a mitigating circumstance in what happened? I don't know what mitigating means, but Griff shouldn't have spiked that Uthgar drink. That's wrong. Griff was always doing stupid stuff like that. Okay, we have 4 torches. I think this is a bit more effective strategy than I thought. The real problem will be with the wife. I'm not sure if we want the accused to be questioned. I'm not sure if we have to let him witness. We'll see how the situation is at that point. Don't mention alcohol. Okay, Rogan lost a lot of money that night, didn't he? Can you explain that? Do we want to go there? Because that's I don't see how that works for us. So no further questions.
If the defense has finished with their blathering, the prosecution has only one witness left. I call on Wanda, the wife of the accused. I'm here to ask you questions. I sense some hostility on your part, young lady. Please remember I'm only doing my job. It is not my fault your husband had to go on a killing spree.
England, I have given you a lot of leeway in this case. You are coming very close to crossing the line of what is acceptable.
Sorry, Your Honor, but this woman is looking at me like she wants to kill me. Must run in her family. Neither my husband nor I would ever commit vile murder. We Uthgard are an honorable people. Yes, you Uthgard take honor very seriously. Wasn't Rolgan ashamed at having gambled away everything he owned? Didn't he want to do anything to wipe away that shame? Yes, but he wouldn't have killed that man. So you say. But we know how strong Uthgard honor is, and Rolgan is a proud warrior. Surely a jury as intelligent and attractive as this one must realize that his pride would have driven Rolgan to kill Griff in a desperate attempt to salvage his wounded honor. Defense may cross-examine now. Have no further question for this witness, since she all but admitted her husband is a rampaging serial killer.
England, don't push me.
Sorry, Judge. I won't say another word while the Honorable Lord Prick tries to defend these crimes. I'm ready for your questions, Lord Prick.
Okay, situation is still. Ooh, we have 3 torches already and we're just starting. So, we don't screw up here. I think we basically have this in the bag. This is the last prosecution witness after all. Crap. We have to play some angle here, but I don't think I want to emphasize the significance of the heirlooms, because I think it works against her husband, but do you think your husband is on trial here simply because he's an Uthgard? Yeah, I don't want to go there. That probably works against us too. Might work for us in some instances, but I don't think we should do it. Because he's clearly not here simply because he's Uthgard. So, tell me why you sent your husband to see Griff.
I told Rolgan to go speak with Griff. To beg him to return the heirlooms he had taken from us. To appeal to Griff's sense of decency. My husband is no killer. He only went back because I sent him there to talk with Griff.
Okay, that's 4 charges. We basically got this. Not sure how we could get the last one. It would be Edgar. So the neutral party is not convinced. Um. Ah, shit. I think we would have to try to do something. I'm walking away. No, no, no. The heirlooms. If we sort of emphasize their importance, we also give motive. No, I'll go with the heirlooms. But how is this going to help us? I don't see how this is going to help us. Because we already played the angle that she's the reason why Rolgan went to talk to Griff, so he had no reason of his own to go back anymore. But if we emphasize the importance of the heirlooms, we might basically lose our advantage there. There could be some gains gained there, but I think it's a risk not worth taking. I have no more questions for Wanda.
If it pleases the court, the prosecution rests the case. Can't we just start the execution now? No? Okay, defense may call their witness if they wish, though I hardly see the point.
Volgan. Yeah, it's 4 against 1 now in our favor. Yeah, the accused. Sure, we can call him the witness. However, I think our best option might be to serve a nice cool glass of shut the fuck up to Rogan and not let him speak himself into more trouble. We basically have him acquitted from this, I think. So we would basically have potential gain of having everyone on our side versus the potential risk that the moron will just implicate himself in the crime. So yeah, I don't think I want to go there. It just doesn't. I think it. No. There's the gains don't justify the risk of him making a fool of himself, and he's not experienced with this type of system of law. So the chance of something, him basically expressing himself in a way that comes off badly is probably very high. So I'm ready for the closing arguments. Ooh, that turned the table. But there's no swords. That's the important part. No one is saying we're guilty. They just don't feel our innocence too strongly anymore.
I shall move on to my closing arguments. This will be short, since the Uthgard is so obviously guilty. Rolgan owed Griff money. 2 witnesses saw Rolgan kill Griff. What could be more simple? Do your duty, members of the jury. Find Rolgan guilty of murder, and let justice be done. Such is the will of Tyr. If it pleases the court, the prosecution rests. He didn't convince anyone. So we're still in a situation where two guys, basically the Uthgard are on our side already, and the hostile and neutral parties, so to speak, are on the fence. So I still feel our position is very strong. Quick, you may make your closing arguments. The prosecution witnesses never saw who started the fight, so we must accept Rogan's claim of self-defense as truth. Hardly a convincing argument.
No, it isn't, but again, this is where we weave our story, I guess. And we already have 2 of the 5 on our side, so as long as we don't antagonize anyone, I think we have a fair chance with this. Rogan is here because he's an Uthgard, an outsider. No. Griff spiked Rogan's drink, making Rogan more prone to act irrationally. Okay, that's 4 versus 1 already.
Sure, blame the victim.
I'm warning you, Iglin. We know Griff was a violent man who hated the Uthgard. He probably started the fight himself. Yay, 5 torches.
Luckily there are no witnesses to disprove this claim.
Iglin, be quiet. Yeah. We would be retarded to continue this, so... The defense rests its case. Then, as Tyr's representative overseeing this trial, I proclaim judgment in this case. By the light of Tyr's truth, may justice be done. The verdict is clear, a unanimous 5-0 decision to acquit. Rogan, you're free to go, as are the rest of you. The court thanks you for your time. Iglin, your work here is done. I suggest you leave before I write you up for your loutish behavior during these proceedings. You are a disgrace to the hallowed halls of this temple. Prick, come speak with me when you wish to receive your just reward for your service here.
Hail to ye!
You were called upon to do your duty in administering the justice of Tyr's court. The church is grateful you answered the call. Your performance at the trial was truly amazing. A unanimous verdict. Such an overwhelming result will do much to quell any rumblings about the Lord's Alliance soldiers over the outcome of the trial. For your exemplary service, you have earned the undying gratitude of this Temple of Tyr. Please accept this token as a sign of my own appreciation of the spectacular job you have done in the service of Tyr. 2,000 gold and about 1,000 experience points. 937 to be exact. I don't know, it seems like a very random number to give. Now, is there anything else? No, I'm fine, thank you. Was very worried about Edgar. He was very long. Waited until the last second to really basically show his colors. But I think Edgar is probably a sort of a duer that you can lose rather than win on your side. For a moment I had doubts about was it the right call not to call Rolgar on the stand, but having the guy talk on with his own words about the case, I think it gives a lot of ammunition for the other side to try to make something of it. Because when you talk, well, for example, during a let's play, you talk a lot. You probably say things that aren't exactly even in the text, even if you read them. You might skip a word, you might just sort of glance at the line. and what you actually say isn't exactly what was in the text there. So even in a case where I have basically the text right in front of me and I'm reading from it, I can still make a mistake, say things wrong, express them in a bad way, something that would allow for a person who's going out of his way to sort of make an issue out of it to grab onto. So in a situation where he's describing in his own words from memory what happened in a case where he was drugged and was basically murdering another person, self-defense or no, even even if he is innocent and would be a fairly capable speaker, I would still it would still probably give ammunition to the other side. So so even in the case where he would be exceptionally capable or orator, I would have doubts about is it sensible to have him sort of speak and interact live in front of the jurors, with the prosecutor getting a chance to try to sort of get him to say or express himself in a very awkward way that puts him into trouble. I mean, he's probably a lot more skilled at that game than the accused will ever be. So yeah, it just seems like something you don't want to do. What you want to do is take your time, see the evidence, listen to the witnesses, and then sort of think about what kind of a case are you going to present to be evaluated, and stick with that. At least in this case it works. I guess there could be exceptions, but here I think we had evidence fairly strongly favoring us. At least murking up the waters enough that there's a reasonable doubt. So I just don't see what possible benefit the questioning could have brought to us. Maybe in a desperate situation, if it was basically 3 or 4 swords there, then yes, because we're going to lose this unless he can pull a rabbit out of his ass. But in this case, where things are already leaning towards outside, yeah, it's just too big of a risk for little to no gain. I think we're gonna head south. We're gonna lead the Moonwood and the Western Forest Mountain, whatever, for the last. So whatever south, Port Ilkart. Maybe go with the Uthgard tribe thing. And I don't think that has anything to do with the Word of Power, so there should be at least 2 major areas there that we'll have to deal with one way or another. There's probably enough to get another level up, which is good, very good.